But what would you do? We just pick one case, North Korea. They have put a satellite into space. We don't know what's in it. Do you have any ideas?
Well, I would first of all call a special session of the entire Congress to discuss Roe v. Wade. I'd do that in the first minute. And then regarding North Korea several weeks ago launched a submarine-launched ballistic missile, which means they launched a missile from a submarine that could carry a nuclear weapon, which means that submarine could travel across the Pacific, park off the coast, and launch an EMP strike, and we would not have any time to react. What did our government do several weeks ago? A strongly worded protest. What would I do? You people do this, even twitch, and you better kiss Pyongyang goodbye. We will preemptively move first, and we're not fooling this time because an EMP is a first strike weapon. There's no coming back. The Japanese hit us on December 7th, 1941, and we did the job in 44 months, but it cost several 100,000 lives. So my message to North Korea would be, we're not going to do strongly worded protests. And I almost guarantee you, look what happened with Ronald Reagan when Gaddafi in Libya, and remember they murdered American servicemen in Rome, and Reagan put a couple bombs literally in the courtyard at Gaddafi's palace. Did he mess with us again? Well, he did Lockerbie the following year, but the message was clear. You're dealing with a bully, you send the message.
That's right.
Don't even think about it. And there's the paradox of life. You make it clear you're not going to tolerate something, there's no violence. It's when you abjectly submit upon your knees, you're about to be beheaded.
One of our guests said he would shoot the satellite out of the
I would say, yeah, I would preemptively take that satellite out and say, that's it.
And
Dr. Pry.
Dr. Pry. And you have to remember who's saying this right now of what, objectively, what we would be doing militarily, okay? We're sitting next to a man with a doctorate from Purdue who specialized in military history, all right? And this is the man who's given us these answers.
Well, when Korea launched a missile starting in 2009, they start their testing of intermediate range ballistic. It was obvious they were going to do the launch a couple of weeks in advance. There's complexities involving liquid fuel rockets that it's pretty easy to detect. We dispatched an Aegis-class cruiser with the capability to shoot it down, but then the president ordered that they were not to turn on their high-gain radar to track this launch because it might provoke them. We should have been turning on the high-gain radar and said, okay, we'll respect your territorial space, but about 30 seconds after you launch, it will be over international waters, and it's a hazard to the entire world. We're going to blow it apart. And the next time you start to set one up, we'll blow it apart on the ground inside your territory. You got the message? I can't get across forcefully enough. EMP is a game ender. We get hit, there's no coming back. 90% of Americans will die. We can't tolerate rogue states like North Korea or zealots in Iran screaming at us every other week. They're going to nuke us, they're going to bathe us in radiation. North Korea and Iran put out propaganda films showing Washington disintegrating under a nuclear blast. I take that seriously.
And we give them large sums of
we
money.
We give them a couple $100 billion of, okay, now you'll be we paid $400 million to let 5 people go, and but it wasn't a bribe. It just happened to be a coincidence.